of success this split, James. They have a chance to pull off the upset here.
And it's going to be an upset if they do. GENG has won all the previous 3 matchups in this season. Moist only picking up 1 game out of the 10 that they've played. So this is going to be a big effort required from Moist to take down this other team in North America. And I think a lot of people have been talking about North America being a 2-team region pretty much since the get-go, Jorby. And those 2 teams have been GENG and G2. So big test ahead of Moist.
You know, and Space Station trying to insert themselves into that conversation. But the rest of North America definitely have had their struggles against this team and G2. But Moist last split, and still a lot of fans with some hope for North America. One of those 2 teams, them and the Snowmen, kind of represent the next players up in North America on these teams, but they have not had a great split, unable to make the top 8 until this event. And so, while it's been a rocky journey on Moist development as a team after the org picked them up, going gets harder here. Your last chance to really make a deep run, and of course, you run into the quarterfinal killers, GENG, right now struggling to get out of defense.
Already had an early chance, but now they're gonna have to defend. That one off the bar, off the post, off the bar again. Where'll this one go? Off the bar and out, obviously.
Where else is it supposed to go?
It finally walked into the net by apparently Jack. It was just a matter of time.
Wow, good position from 5UP. Just let him shoot it. If it comes down, you won't own goal. Unfortunately, third band got deleted from Moist. So no follow-up was coming on defense. Too much pressure there from GENG to start.
And I like that hesitation from apparently Jack. Easy to let that one get into your head, but apparently Jack delays his flip into that shot, recognized the 1v1 situation. Apparently Jack, world class in those moments. And GENG, I mean, if they didn't score there, that would have been pretty tough.
That would have maybe shaken you a little bit. Chronic pitching the ball downfield. Heavy touch from Eris. Forces him to get back up to it and bumped. I think it all starts with that first touch in the corner. Ball security weak on that first touch from Eris, and the rest snowballs.
And look at the work Chronic did. Not only does he get that really crazy touch out to the middle, but immediately goes into bump mode and lands the bump, making things 10 times easier for apparently Jack. Such a smart play from Chronic to flip that switch, recognizing that he could take advantage of his position. And this is looking like a solid start on 3rd goal here for GENG. We're not even 2 minutes in. This is already a runaway game for GENG.
You know, James, we just got done casting a massacre at the start of the day. Are we really in tune for another one?
And has the makings of it, Jorby. It has the makings of it early.
Although, you know, it was Atomic in that game 1 who scored 4 goals. Everyone already gets involved on GENG here. Chronic doesn't have a goal, but he does have that assist, plus the demo. Eris set up.
Oh, there's the response.
Okay, there's a little wife.
And to get it off kickoff is huge as well. 5UP takes that space, and I like his decision to go for a 50. He recognizes the defense doesn't really have the position to get a big clear to the corner, so if he can park his car right there, now chances are he'll get a rebound for a teammate. And that's precisely what happened. Eris launching that one in. So despite the slow start, Moist are back into this game.
Almost back out of it, and he was floating in the air without any boosts. The ball hit right back into him. Moist get to retain a 2-goal deficit, but GENG have control of the ball. First killer, 2 touches. Andy uncomfortable, but Chronic was the same side. Appjack gets back across it. Moist are getting back to the 50s, as precarious as it might look. First killer keeps the touch tight. Nobody from Moist can go. Everyone has to wait, and he gets the bump as well. Chronic needed it for space, and GENG break.
And that's a pass over to Eris. Can he get the double? No. That one was a fast ball, a little too much for him to handle. Counterattack shut down, but Moist always seem to do a good job of scoping out those infield pass opportunities, but executing is another matter.
Oh, especially when GENG are flying at you from the left. First killer this time. Eris with a hopeful touch, and he comes out with the ball in the midfield, pops it to the left side, wide. Chronic had the save, but now Moist are in position, and that touch was not what Moist needed. 5UP wanted to buy time. GENG didn't give them anything too dangerous on the counter. Jack take the ball out. 5UP on there quickly, and he doesn't get any of the ball. Andy has to make the save. 5UP gets his own boost. GENG will wait for Moist. 5UP gave the ball up.
heavy first touch from 5-up, and he had boost to work with as well, and this is putting Moist on the defensive now. Chronic with a full boost tank will try to get this out, but the precious time melting off the clock for Moist. Finally, they get this ball out, but it's all the way back into the corner. Chronic staying on the back wall, actually giving this shot over to Andy, but didn't really test the defense much.
I'm surprised Andy went for that, knowing Chronic was there. Maybe you think your teammate can follow that one up, but it seemed like an opportunity with all of GENG back to actually play that to the side where 5-up was sitting, and you might have been able to retain possession. They break out though. It's just actually getting this ball away from First Killer and company that's proving difficult here with 45 left.
Oh, but this could be a chance, but apparently Jack, with 0 boost, able to speed flip to that ball and just get his nose on it.
Ooh, 5-up off the wall. And could not get his car around it. GENG will get away with another one. A no boost Jack. Makes an easily savable ball for 5-up. Andy up high, challenged immediately by Chronic, and there's just no way out, no way in for Moist, no matter what they're trying to do. Eris no boost on the 50. First Killer back pass to Chronic. And just game management at the end. Moist might stop them, but it doesn't matter. They could never really get started here in game 1.
And that slow start cost Moist everything. At the beginning, you were wondering if we'd see another massacre, but Moist, to their credit, were able to lock back in, and they too survived, you know, with a little bit of face saved, getting one on the board late, and they had some opportunities at the very beginning of the game. There was a passing number this year, so Moist are really going to have to make some adjustments to try to figure out something that works against this GENG team.
First Killer will grab the ball immediately off the kickoff. Eris with a full tank. Some heavy touches from Moist that GENG have punished on defense. And if you want to point at one thing specifically, I think ball security on defense, if Moist are a little better with it, they might be able to keep this at a 0-0 mark. And then you start questioning whether they can do anything about GENG's defense. Right now, they're the ones playing a lot of defense, avoiding First Killer bump attempts and having a stretch. But Eris will get a stretcher, forces Chronic up, and he's done. Here comes 5-up, denied. Apparently, Jack gets deleted for his effort.
Good ball over to Eris. Eris decides to go towards net. Did have some support in the midfield. A little surprising not to see him try to utilize a teammate there. Good demo from behind, however, for Eris.
Second time that happened, too.
A shot opportunity, though, for GENG. Fortunately for Moist, Eris able to shut that down.
Chronic keeps the ball tight. At least follows up the 50. Eris has to use a lot of boost. First Killer came from the top of his board. Still Moist. Tenuous hold on the midfield. Jack has to stay with it, and he'll get the pinch he was hoping for. Buying GENG some time.
Andy trying to push it forward. And there's a demo from behind. The demos and the bumps have been helping GENG out quite a bit. There's a double commit. First Killer and Jack, neither one of them hit it, but Chronic is here to help out. He had plenty of boost, and now we'll try to hand this off to First Killer, who hits it off the post and almost gets back to it in time.
First Killer was very upset that that first ball did not go in. He really wanted to make sure he got another try at it. Chronic holds the ball against Eris. A better opening 2 minutes from Moist, James. You know, it's not 3-0, but that's about it. They're still playing a lot of defense. They get a couple of these clears, namely from Eris in that first man position. Here's a shot, easily denied by Chronic to the side.
Chronic, he had landed that bump in the very first game that led to a goal. And we saw First Killer hunting for these demos from behind. Now we see a pass over. First Killer back to Jack. Jack in reverse, very awkward situation, still gets it up over net. And it's cleared out, but Moist have to watch out for those demos from behind. It has caught him out a few times.
They have avoided a couple of them. That's the thing, it doesn't matter if you avoided the last one, just matters that you avoid the next one. And right now they're not. Here's the dunk, here's the goal. You get demoed, you get scored on, it's 1-0.
And this demo's really making a big difference. First Killer forcing Andy to panic. Andy low boost situations, trying to cut, but Chronic had the whole play developing in front of him, and it wasn't a difficult read for him. He saw exactly what Andy was trying to do and was able to shut that door immediately.
5 up though, got the ball off the kickoff. Low 50, back to Aris. But the shot, Jack was already in stride. 5 up and Andy. Andy will actually call 5 up off. But there's nowhere to go. He's stuck onto the ground. Chronic now, full tank of boost. First killer, the go-ahead man downfield, and almost didn't need him. High ball, Jack will wait for Aris, and the clear goes right back to him. Not the best touch there for Jack, but GENG managing just fine in the midfield. First killer getting a bump, and every time Moist try to establish a rhythm. There's GENG throwing a wrench into the whole gear.
Very physical this series. Landed bumps, landed demos. GENG have such a well-rounded game, and we're seeing it here.
Aris playing first killer's touch. And again, the shot quality is not there. You think about the earlier try from Andy in game, I don't even think it was game 1. I think it was at the start of this game, where he just puts it down to the left side of Chronic. The shot quality, not great. These touches going into the dirt and away from Moist cars whenever they get back to it. Now Chronic has a one-on-one the other way. Backboard, double tap off the bar. Almost found it, and Moist lucky it's not 2-0.
That was a tight angle to make work. Chronic still almost doing it. Lovely pass, but a side flip from Aris. You said the back flip from 5 up, not side flip from Aris. Slight mechanical mistakes costing Moist some opportunities.
Aris on the back wall. Has to contend against first killer, and he knew it. He tried to hold it, but then the ball skips away from him just a little bit. It gets by him. 5 up makes a good 50. Back to Aris in the midfield. The layers have not been peeled away on from GENG. First killer, air dribble reset to Jack. Almost found 5 up on the play. 5 up does pick up the save, narrowly avoiding disaster.
Now Jack pretending like he was going to go for a shot, and then at the last second switches it up, trying to go for a bump. Moist did well to dodge that bump and get the save. But time is trickling away. This is a chance for Aris. Aris scores it to equalize. Moist on the board.
Oh, this all drew itself up so nicely for Aris. He could see Andy the whole way. He knew he had first killer beat, though he comes up to be ready for that hit off the ceiling. He beats GENG in the positioning, and a huge 3-point play from Moist to tie it up.
That would be big. Like we said before, out of all these previous matchups, Moist have only taken a single game from GENG this season. Might be able to double up right here.
Oh, God, he was dropping down. Oh, he couldn't recover in time. Moist score a 0-second ender here in Forbidden Temple. Chronic is still landing, and he can't get back up.
And they double up. Aris picking up both of those goals.
The opportunity GENG had on Moist net for the rest of the game. And Moist made a question of it.
And it really felt, even though it was a 1-goal game, that it was GENG dictating most of the tempo of that game. So huge result there for Moist. Got some success. Can they keep that going?
You know GENG are going to bring you the same type of heat every time. It's not a matter of can you withstand it once or twice. Can you do it consistently? Because GENG are going to keep coming at you consistently. Aris trying to double up with 5 up. High touch for apparently Jack, but he can't get back to it. Now Moist are picking up demos. 5 up, 2 demos, back to Aris. Moist rolling through.
A double demo from 5 up, clean it up.
Oh, and then nice cheeky pass over to Aris sitting at the top.
That's just a goal secure. You got to be ready for it.
Love that. Now for Moist, okay. How did GENG adjust? As, they almost double up on the kickoff twice. They still might, as 5 up has a ripper. Andy's looking for Aris, or was he? The timing certainly looked like he was going for Aris.
And Aris has had no boost. So I think it was a situation where the back pass was a good idea, but with 0 boost, Aris not going to be able to do much. Well, first killer do flip reset, pushing towards the net. And that's cleared off the line. So many demos from 5 up. 5 up getting the hall pass to get as many demos as possible, but he's read like a book this time again by Chronic. Chronic read Andy last game, this time predicting the touch from 5 up.
Well, there's only one explosion that truly matters, James, and it's the one that comes out of the goal. So 5 up can pick up the exterminator all he wants. But the scoreboard only tracks one type of explosion. And Chronic moving it downfield off the kickoff. Now Moist. They're gonna make, or GENG making it a rubber match. You gotta be able to go tit for tat with them. Andy slapping through Chronic, who will recover quickly, and First Killer grabs his corner boost, gets deleted on that touch. Eris, weak touch. A little bit of time. GENG needed it. Chronic needed that boost. Eris also getting that demo. Andy flying across. He's missed the ball. One touch off the wall. Nobody was ready for it. Chronic was playing in the middle, and Appjack is just hoping to buy time.
You're seeing a lot of demos come out from Moist. That last demo on First Killer when he had full boost. I mean, First Killer taking that airborne would have been disastrous for Moist, but Moist getting so aggressive, so physical. And it has caught GENG off guard for a bit. The pass up. Apparently Jack not able to get there in time, but there's the response demo from Chronic.
Five Up playing it close. Eris, he got demoed. Well, he's last back. Everyone rotates into form for Moist. Five Up bumping Eris, says, I have the boost, give me the ball. He's got the reset, and Chronic forced to make the save. First Killer falls back down onto the ball. That did give it back to Andy. He had a good follow-up. Still the pass. Love the gumption from Moist. Even when there's traffic in the area, still trying to play that lateral pass, even if GENG are there, betting on their team rather than being scared of GENG.
They're sticking to their game plan. You can tell. The pass across, going to be way too far away. Apparently Jack gonna boom it, but it's boomed right back. Andy saw Eris upfield, who now gets demoed. So many demos in this series.
I think it's starting to feel a little chippiness, not just on the field. Yeah, well, personal. Honestly, after Five Up gets like 3 demos in a row, I'm starting to spam okay. Let's be honest. That ball gets
It can be tilting. I mean, it really can be. Especially if, you know, a double demo like that leads to a goal. It's even worse when a demo against you is effective.
It's just good Rocket League from Moist. First Killer.
Block.
Had it, Andy.
Apparently Jack also a little far away. This has been a slog for both of these teams to get through. Now's a chance, but that's broken up by Five Up, who's had a great game.
Yeah, great cutoff there on the rotation. High ball. Apparently Jack gets a free read. That's been rare for GENG in this game, but the shot's not on target. Start feeling like GENG need that shooting to be better. Chronic coming across, trying to find his team. Jack plays it high. Eris still shakes him off the ball. Andy, though, loses it. Five Up has to dive for it. And he does, but it cost him all of his boost.
The ball went perfectly back to Five Up. Good block from Andy. Tries to get another one. First Killer's out of boost and puts it right into the middle. Fortunately for him, Chronic was there to get that 50, but now GENG need to get some boost. That corner spawns, and apparently Jack was able to get it, but First Killer still running on fumes.
Also boost battles happening off ball deep in the third. Eris was protecting his own corner. GENG are still rotating deep into Moist territory to try to disrupt that rhythm. However, the drum line is still holding the BPM. Eris popped it up high. Nobody can go from Moist. Chronic still on the ball.
Chronic gets a wonderful 50. Apparently Jack's going to try to get back to this for a pinch out to the middle.
Nice.
It's a rebound opportunity. Chronic has to be careful. Last man back, trying to play it slow. Actually helps a pinch up. And there's the follow-up shot by Five Up. That's disastrous for Chronic and GENG.
Yeah, but this 50's kind of nasty. He gets right around Chronic. Chronic turns into the challenge, but Eris already has him beat with momentum. So he just rolls his car into the side of the ball, into Chronic to force the pinch. And credit to the team for being ready for it. Eris setting up that 50. Nobody from GENG was ready for it to rip like that. And Moist in position to take the game. Five Up, big shot denied by Chronic. Not where GENG want to be. Eris with the reset into the corner. Time expiring. First Killer getting downfield. Could be the last chance of the game. First Killer misses, and it doesn't matter. Oh, sometimes the best touch is just belief itself, James.
Sometimes the best touch is no touch. Why? I mean, First Killer,
gotta believe.
Everybody thinking he was going to get that pass down, and now it's the 2 0-second goals. This series, what are we seeing?
I guarantee you that's in. Oh, man. GENG get killed on the 50 on the kickoff. Again. It's Five Up. Just forces the 50. It's easy. Jack still needed time. First Killer tried to recover, but he's too slow. And Moist take the game.
This series, this is so... That's why boost is so important and so critical. But that last game, that was Five Up stepping up. I mean, for me, Five Up he was the clear reason why Moist was able to get that done.
Well, it has been an interesting day so far in North America. G2 started the day freestyling. Rebellion and Luminosity were in quite the scrappy game. But Moist, it's probably the second series of the day where everybody across the board is thinking Gen G, but Moist have something different to bring to the table. It's again Andy slowing it down. First killer got outbrained.
These 50-50s are killing him. Eris throws a little hezzy in there like he's Furrow and destroys him. And even before that, the 50-50 from Andy, I mean, and now off kickoff, that one's going to be testing.
I mean, I'm surprised the first killer just dove into that too, because like he knows Andy's driving into it and he's just trying to rush underneath. But Andy was slowing down a little bit. There's 2 times now we watched first killer take those challenges aggressively, but not really getting any quality. And Eris is throwing cannonballs in the face of Gen G.
And another 50, this is a 50-50 clinic, and Andy says, all right back to you, Eris.
Oh, this game's
they
been
are
one of the
putting on a
trenches,
50-50 clinic.
Yeah. If a team full of vintage fireburners or Chaussette, depending on, you know, your proclivities. But Andy with a full tank of boost, you don't want to start letting your foot off the gas now. Gen G might be down right now. You might have the advantage right now. We've watched this team turn it around mid-series plenty of times. They can adapt and completely take the series away. Moist have to keep that pedal on the floor.
This game not over yet for Gen G, but what a rough start, especially after coming out of a timeout. And you'd think that maybe you'd see some sort of adjustment, but we've seen more success from Moist. But as I say it, the passing play develops. Beautifully done by apparently Jack. Gets that ball to first killer, and first killer, he saw 5-up was already in the air, had him dead to rights.
Yeah, that was much better from Gen G, but it was one of the few moments Moist actually let go of the midfield. Their 5-up had to rotate back, get boost. First man was still going back as well. And then your follow-up guy only had like 12 boost on nets. One of those moments where Moist actually get caught out. And first killer still has to hit it backside of 5-up. Andy tries the short touch. He gets over first killer. Chronic comes to meet him, but by that time, well, the 50 works out. Eris got demoed, and that gives Gen G a little bit of space to get back downfield. Here they are in front, no shot. Chronic gets a nice catch, though, sends that heat right back their way. Now Moist have to set up again on defense, but a quick read, and Jack knows it too. He ain't going up yet.
Finds Chronic over on the wall. Flip reset from Chronic. Goes for a bump. Makes one player miss. But the ball cleared all the way back to apparently Jack, who's going to be hunted down. Eris doesn't get the bump, but he grabs the boost. The shot will be high, but Gen G, they've been quite vulnerable. And Moist, this is looking like a different Moist compared to the previous matchups we've seen. And that was, wait, what?
I think 5-up was very confused on how this play was developing. He goes back wide of this rotation to get boost. He sees Eris get the demo. He thinks Eris is slapping that ball. And Eris misses, and then Jack pops out of the woodwork. That's got to be scary.
I mean, that's a situation where Eris is thinking, oh, I'm just going to bump him off. I'll bump him off the ball. But apparently Jack was flying supersonic and also caught him on the T-bone. So that was a mistake from Eris. Eris probably could have prevented that goal.
Now what felt like what was starting to turn into a dominant hold on the pitch gets flipped on its head immediately. Started with first killer, and one slight error of not catching a very speedy Jack will put Gen G right back in a position to control the game. But the 50s are still a question mark. Here's Eris just beating 2 players in the air. Andy tries a short hop. 5-up, go for the mid-air bump. He ain't gonna hit Jack again. And the demo and the goal. Gen G kill him on the counterattack. First killer picking up another.
Now this is a deadly counter, and you're seeing how heavily that Moist is committing now, trying to land these bumps. And it's not working out right now. Gen G catches what's going on. They see it coming, and they're starting to work around it.
What do Moist do now? As it's completely flipped with 3 unanswered. Trying to get back to controlling that ball. Eris doing as much as he can on 0 boost. Just have to maintain momentum. You can keep that ball near you. You can do a lot of damage even on no boost. It does get flung back, excuse me, to the other side.
Sierra's racing for that corner boost, but loses the race. Will now have to rotate out on 0. Andy also caught way up in the air. A lot of boost being taken away. 5 up, also low boost, but still got a piece of it. Moist doing well to keep that ball in, but finally we see GENG get some possession with boost.
Not what you want to see, all of Moist sitting in their own third with first killer behind the ball. Now he's got another touch, one touch. No, he lets it drop, and Jack was playing a little off. Couldn't go with all of Moist sitting there. Still, it's free shots for GENG from the third. First killer faking the challenge. Eris flies past the ball. Eris, it's a much needed clear. 5-Up's got to do something with this, but without any boost, all he can hope for is the mistouch. Andy in the area. Still keeping that pressure up against GENG, and that Eris double. Deceptive. Still saved. First killer, air dribble, no dunk. Moist are starting to run out of time, and GENG forcing him lateral in the blue half. Eris looking for any kind of leeway. He stole the boost. He stole the other boost. And here's 5-Up in the midfield, but mishandled.
First killer launching that back. Maybe could have possessed that. And that shot's on target, and no one's back in time. Eris saw the gap, and he says, all right, sure, I'll go for it.
Oh, Chronic still rotating back too. Jack, he started leaning over to the left side to turn upfield when he's watching first killer. And as he comes back, he can see it the whole way. He sees Chronic on the other side, but Jack doesn't have any boost. So Eris just caught them out of rotation with Chronic running back, thinking he's gonna have some support with Eris there, or that he's gonna make a play on the ball. And Eris is like, dude, the midfield is wide open. I'm just shooting this. And there you go, tie game, but don't let that go in. Eris will safely carry it back out to the corner. And back to GENG's half. Chronic does not want any kind of nonsense at 0 seconds again.
Yeah, I mean, we've already seen 2 0-second goals. This one overtime. GENG lost very quickly in overtime, and this kickoff also not going their way. 5-Up, though, lost control of that ball. It was a perfect back right to him. Wasn't able to wrangle it. So GENG survived the first part of the kickoff. But Moist, when they come charging back, they had such a good start to the game. Now they're going to have to defend first killer with a 50. And now apparently Jack being contested by Andy. Andy in a race against Chronic. Got this ball all around, and now Eris gets the late flip. Eris! He gets his 4th goal of the game in overtime in a huge moment. The star player for Moist.
Eris versus first killer. And if you ask everybody, they're probably picking first killer. But Eris keeps on.
By Moist, and then you can't forget about the game 5-Up had as well with those 6 demos and the double demo that led to a goal. And I didn't give Moist a chance coming into this series, especially looking at how all the previous results had gone for them, but they are in the driver's seat. Like you said, Jorby, triple match point in a series where GENG, if they won this, they could have secured their spot at the Major and Worlds. But maybe things are about to get interesting.
Could Gibbs's tied, like 4-way tie actually happen? Well, Moist are certainly trying to throw a wrench into this whole entire playoff bracket. 5-Up getting this touch, makes it awkward, and the double commit from GENG kills them.
That is shakiness from GENG, a big mistake, the miscommunication, the double commit, the ball.
Jack, he doesn't hold on to the ball, and that double commit never happens if he just holds on to the ball, but it bounces slightly away from him, and 5-Up is there to punish him.
Things get even more difficult for GENG, trailing now when they have no more room for error.
GENG haven't been as physical either, even in that comeback. They got those counterattacks. I'm looking at first killer James. He's been on the first push a lot. He has scored a couple of goals. But when it comes to the challenge game, which has been the biggest factor for Moist, first killer has not looked great. And like, that's not great for GENG. I mean, first killer's challenge game has to be a little better. He does get a clean touch. The post bounce in his favor. He gets chipped. And so even when you're winning, you're losing for GENG trying to get out. Chronic can't even rotate back. He keeps getting sandwiched between Moist cars.
Their infield pass attempt, first killer not able to get there, has to peel off the ball. There's another demo from 5-Up. We know He's pretty good at landing those demos. And Moist has been clutch today, and that's a wonderful 50 shot for 5 up. Saved rebound up to Aris. It's a floater, but it's well placed enough. The defense out of position, and a 2-goal lead and more goals for Aris.
You know, 5 up, while the placement wasn't great, the power was exactly where you needed it to be. Jack's timing has to be perfect to get that clear. He gives up the ball, and of course, every 5-up shot is just a preamble to an Aris goal. Moist. 2-goal lead, James. I mean, we're talking beforehand. We're like, oh, this might be another G2 Dignitas. Like you were saying,
with how it started,
they own the matchup.
Game one, with how it started.
A minute in.
But Moist,
here we are.
Moist have found a different gear to go to. And they've put in the work, and they're about to reap the rewards as we approach the halfway point of the game. A 2-goal lead for Moist. GENG, do they have what it takes to fight back?
I mean, this has to feel great for Moist. They were priming in the first split, and everyone was waiting for them to take the next step. They had exciting gameplay, but they weren't able to make that next step. Disappointing qualifier 4 and 5, to say the least. 1 and 3 in both. Now you get through in 5 rounds, and you're taking it to GENG in quarterfinals? I mean, that's got to feel great if you're Moist. You have 2 in hand right now. And you would take GENG down in 5. Literally no one has that in their bracket other than Charlie himself, maybe.
It's such a good play from Andy there as well to dodge the bump attempt and get the save off to the side. Moist, they're about to do it. 2 minutes left. GENG still scoreless.
Aris flips it out away from GENG on the challenge. Looking for 5 up. Chronic cuts it off nicely. First killer follow. Back to Chronic, but guess what? Moist are there. They're in the lanes. They see GENG's rotation, and they're not scared. In fact, they know that they're going to beat them as they come across. But GENG get another chance. Abjack going downfield. No demos. He will force 5 up to be slow, but it doesn't matter when Andy slows the game down upfield.
Time taking away all this. Could be an open net. Can Chronic get enough power on it? Yes, he can. 5 up was retreating back, but Chronic had him beat, knew that all he had to do was place it on target. And GENG are within striking distance with plenty of time left on the clock. It was looking pretty dire, but things starting to look up for GENG.
Win so many of those midfield touches, you think, I'm invincible, there's no way I get beat on this play. But all it takes is one little mistake, and GENG come right back. Here's a couple of shots. Chronic sends it across. First killer jumps early. 5 up is right there to meet him, step for step. Abjack, though, takes a leap, and it's taken away by Aris with no boost. He gets it stolen from him. First killer, double tap denied. Andy ain't letting him in, and he stays on the ball. Chronic is denied. Jack through the gap, denied. 5 up diving in. It's not in. Moist are holding them down. They still can't get in. It doesn't matter.
Oh, the first killer did so good. He even got his flip reset back into the 50, and I was thinking surely GENG was going to score there. But they walk away empty-handed. Another 50. Apparently, Jack trying to drive it through. It's starting to get to the panic time for GENG.
Chronic looking for first killer. He's got Abjack. Abjack, big shot, save. 5 up, saw him the whole way. First killer, another high pop, but a heavy touch, and it's given up to Moist. 20 seconds left to hold. Abjack tries again. Abjack underneath. He ain't giving up that easy.
Oh, GENG! They're not out of it yet. Chronic, a fortunate bounce, really. Hit the 50 with Aris. Goes perfectly out to apparently Jack. 50-50s were so in favor of Moist, but that 150, oh, that has put GENG back into a spot where they can win this series, but a tough bounce out. Apparently Jack around 1. Flip reset.
Jack.
Oh, last chance opportunity here for GENG. The low shot rebound.
Oh, first killer was there. If that extra touch doesn't happen, I think he might have a real shot at the net, but wait a minute. 0 seconds. Aris across. No way! The third 0-second goal eliminates GENG from the